Hello and welcome to my channel, On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's been on the hook. Last week, you know that I had my grandsons here, so I have not been extremely productive, although I found a project that I had been working on for a while and I wanted to show it to you. Also, I finished the Dorothy Sweater pattern, which is right here. Let me get that over there. The Dorothy Sweater pattern, it's out on Etsy as we speak. And as of the time of the release of this video, it will be on Etsy. And you will have received a substantial offer code that you can use if you decide to purchase the Dorothy sweater or any other sweater. You can use that same offer code and it's good for about a week. So be sure that you take a look at your email. Also, I still have my project bags here. If you're interested in those, there is an offer code there on the email for those as well. So you can only use those with the offer code that goes with those. So be sure you read the email and understand it. Also, the Dorothy sweater was a labor of love. It took me a long time to get that out the door. And I want to show you that one more time on Crystal. If you're not familiar with the Dorothy sweater, I will show that to you as well. Also, I have a couple of shout outs before I start. And first of all, before I start anything, I want to be sure that I ask you how you're doing and how you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you did. I did too. It was quiet around here. And our grandsons left on Friday afternoon and they came on Monday afternoon. So we had them all week and we did lots of fun things. We went to a museum with them just for children. We also went swimming a couple of times. We went to playgrounds. We just had a wonderful time. We had all our meals together and we enjoyed ourselves so much. And they're so dear, so sweet, and they're very energetic though. So I was resting this weekend and did some things for my business, for my On the Hook Crochet channel. And I finished the pattern that I was working on, the Dorothy sweater, and I also finished a project, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Now, I want to talk about a couple of shout outs. I have one for my sister-in-law, Lori, who watches my channel. Lori, hey, hope you're doing all right. Hope you're not too hot up there in DC. And also to Denise, a nice lady that I ran into. She used to work with us with our property management company, our vacation rentals down in Florida. And Denise did such a wonderful job for us. And I ran into her in a store, but Mr. On the Hook and I ran into her. And she said that she watches my channel. So hi, Denise. It was good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Now, again, let's talk about what's on the hook. And what's been on the hook was my Dorothy sweater. And this sweater is now out on Etsy. It is a crop sweater, but you don't have to make it in a crop style. You can certainly make it as long as you want. And Crystal's going to model that for us. And here's Crystal. She is modeling the Dorothy sweater. This Dorothy sweater is a cropped, and let me back her up here so you can see the bottom of the sweater. Well, I can't get used to this camera. Well, let me pull her over here. There she is, and it's a crop sweater, but you don't have to make it this way. You can make it a little bit longer. Now, it took me one skein of Dottie yarn, and that's this yarn that is the new Premier yarn in Garden Party. That was the color that I selected. This is what it looks like knitted up, and this is what it looks like crocheted up. And I love the look of it. It's so gorgeous, and I've worn it around. It looks really nice on. It's a nice fit. It's a beautiful summer fit. It's a little bit loose. It's got a little bit of ease in it, and it's cropped, of course, which makes the sweater very cool. Very, very cool. I didn't realize that till I made a sweater cropped like this, and the air gets under there, and it's so much cooler than a very long sweater, although you can certainly make a long sweater from this. It's not hard to do, and you just add the rib at the bottom and you make the sweater as long as you want all the way up to the underarm. And I describe that in the pattern, tell you how to do it so that you'll know how to take care of that. Now, the sleeves are also optionally short or long. You can make them either way. And the neckline is totally up to you. This is your design. This is just with my recipe and your design. So you can decide how low or how high you want the neckline. That is also your decision. And in the pattern, I tell you how to do that. So it's It's a flexible crochet that you can crochet any way you want, but I love the way this turned out. I probably would make another one, and I haven't done that yet. Of course, I'm working on some other things, but this is a little bit fitted sleeve, right about like that. It's fairly fitted. Crystal doesn't have arms. I hate to say it, but she doesn't have any arms, so I had to kind of pretend with the arms here. But this is the shoulder seam right up here, and there's a side seam here. Very easy to do, though. It's not difficult. And because we add the ribbing first, then you can decide how long you want the sweater, and you're not having to adjust for the ribbing at the bottom. You don't have to say, well, I'm going to add 1.5 inches of ribbing, and maybe you decide not to add 1.5 inches. Maybe you want to add 3 inches of ribbing. So if you do that at first, then you'll know that when you reach the underarm, you'll know exactly how long your sweater is. So all that's in the pattern. I did include a very detailed explanation on how to end the rows here, because everyone's sweater will be a different width. Your width will be different from your friend's width. Your measurement is different from any other in the world, so your sweater is going to be different. So it's going to have a different number of stitches, and I don't give stitch counts here, and I don't do sizes. I allow you to make the sweater in your size so it fits you the first time. So there again, the ends of the rows, because the stitch pattern is a little bit different on this than just a plain double crochet, then you'll know exactly how to end the rows. And I tell you, when you have 2 stitches left over, what to do. If you have 3 stitches left over, what to do when you're doing the triad stitch, which is right across here. You can see it here. It just gives a little more air in the sweater, but it's not a see-through sweater. I did not want a see-through sweater. I want to be able to just wear this as is. And if you want to see the sweater, if you want to see me modeling the sweater, I modeled it last week on Monday's video. So take a look at that. I'll put a link to that in the description box, or I may put just a box at the end of the video, and you can just click that box and go back and look at the video that I wore the Dorothy sweater last week. So there you have it. That's the Dorothy sweater modeled by Crystal this week, and the pattern's out there, so take a look. I want to thank Crystal for all of her hard work modeling for me. She's been a real trooper, and she modeled the people's pullover for weeks on end, and she never complained the first time. Now, again, the yarn that I use there is the Premier Dottie, not sponsored at all, not sponsored. I just love this pattern of dots on the yarn. It's very, very soft. It's a size 3. There are 656 yards on the skein, and I used 1 skein to make the Dorothy sweater that I just showed you. Now, the Dorothy sweater, if you make it any longer, or if you make the sleeves longer or the neckline lower, or if you put more edging around the neckline or anything like that, you're going to need 2 skeins. They're $8.99 a skein. The last I checked on the Premier website, and if you go out there, you can buy it. It's here in about a week. It took me about a week to get that yarn, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the quick shipping that they had from Premier. So there you go. That's where you get the yarn, and I'll put a link down in the description box to the link to Premier yarns where you can buy that Dottie. I haven't seen it on Amazon. I haven't seen it on Joann. I haven't seen it in Michael's, so I assume no one else is carrying it. I just don't know. But I do know you can get it from Premier, and there are about 8 different color ways that you can choose from. Now, I was so loving the Dottie yarn that I am giving away 1 skein today. And again, I forgot on last Monday's video to give you a key word, but most people use the word Dottie, but I'm going to give it away next Monday, so I'll give you a keyword for that, and a couple of other things that I'm giving away as well. But I just totally forgot to do a giveaway for this week, and I apologize for that. I try to do one on every single video. It's just more fun to watch. If you know at the end you have a chance to win a beautiful gift, and it has to be a yarny gift or something to do with yarn and nothing else. So I just wanted to tell you about that and the Dottie yarn. Love it, love it. Now, let's talk about what I'm wearing. Before we talk about what I'm wearing, let me show you look at this over here. This is a designer studio. I have a lot of paper here, a lot of notepads, a lot of notes that I've taken, a calendar that I use right there. Let me get my finger over here. Why can't I do that? Right there. I have a calendar right there that I use. There's my light right up there, my basket full of office supplies, my pads that I use when I'm doing a new project. I grab one of these and I keep it in the project bag so that I know how I made the sweater, if there are anything specific I need to write down, it goes on one of these pads. Also, all of this is designer material. There's a folder here, and that's for fall, and I'm really excited. I have some great ideas for fall, and I'm going to start working on those pretty soon because summer is here and you should be crocheting for summer. But I've crocheted quite a bit for summer. I have quite a few summer patterns out there on my Etsy shop, and I'll probably start working on fall garments. Now, I did order 2 more skeins of the Dottie in Prairie, and that is the color that someone on comments said that color was more browns and maybe beiges, and I still think it has a white background. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I bought some of it, and it'll be here pretty soon. So I went ahead and bought 2 skeins of that, and we'll see how that looks. I hopefully will make that up. If I don't make it up, I will give it away to a lucky subscriber. So there you go. Now back to what I'm wearing. I had this in the make for many weeks. I started this with some yarn that a friend of mine named Becky, she hand dyed it for me. I asked her for a color, a tonal in pinks, and so this is what I got, and it's so gorgeous. This is what it looks like on the hank. Let me get that up there right where you can see it. It is a pink and peach, kind of a pink and peach color. Let's see if I can get that up there. Beautiful light pink and some peach color as well. And so this is the yarn that she dyed for me and asked me what I wanted, and I told her it was a DK yarn, and on each hank are 246 yards of DK. It's a big fat hank. It's a lot of yarn, and I used 3 of these, which came to about 750 yards of DK for the Rebecca sweater. And the Rebecca sweater is the one I have on right now, and I named it for Becky because she dyed the yarn for me. So I'm calling it the Rebecca sweater, but it's really the Becky sweater. And I finally finished it. I made it very simple. It is a summer sweater. So I'll stand up and show this to you right now. I have my camera at a little bit different angle today. It's turned a little bit, so I'm just experimenting. But I wanted to show you this up close, so I'm hoping you can see the length and the ease that I placed in. This is 2, 4, 6, 8 inches of ease in this sweater. 8 inches of ease. It's a short sleeve sweater. It's not a cap sleeve. It does have some sleeves under here, under the bottom. There is some sleeve there, so you're not just hanging out at the bottom. I wanted to crochet this for you in a summer style and make it very easy with a DK yarn. And DK yarn, you could probably use the Dottie yarn to make this. I don't know why you couldn't. In fact, I may make my Prairie colorway Dottie yarn that's on its way here. I may make that with this pattern. So this is the Rebecca sweater. I love it. It is so comfortable. Now, this is a luxury yarn, so it's not going to be Dottie yarn, but Dottie yarn is very comfortable. It's very soft, so I believe it would probably feel pretty much like this. Now, up close, let me show you how this looks. This is the tonal look of the yarn as I crocheted it. Look at how beautiful that is. And I have a little bit of a design on this, but it's not difficult at all. This is a very easy sweater to make. In fact, once you get break for the sleeves, it's just round in a circle. I did turn at the end of each row, but it didn't make a huge problem in the back. I think it looks okay. It's not there's not a huge line down the back, but there is a little bit of a line that you can see, but that doesn't bother me at all. It's just where the sweater comes together, so I'm not ever worried about that. And then it's a little bit cropped. It's not so cropped that it would ride up on me too much. See, there's a ways to go. If I made it again, I would probably make it a tiny bit longer, just like the Dorothy sweater. I might make it another inch longer so that I could lift my arms up. But this, because I have ease in the sweater, it doesn't lift the bottom of the sweater up. See, when I put my arms up, the bottom of the sweater doesn't roll up, and if it was very tight under here, it probably would. So I would suggest using a pretty good ease in this sweater. Make sure you make it from a drapey yarn, like a luxury yarn, or maybe even the Dottie yarn that would drape a little bit around, so that when you make it, it has plenty of room in it. It's roomy sweater, but it's like I said, it doesn't ride up like some crop sweaters might. If they were fitted under the arms, it would pull that sweater right up. But this one doesn't get pulled up. It stays right where it was. So I really like this. This is the Rebecca sweater, and I'm hoping to work on this sweater pattern this week. It's a simple pattern, and it's not it doesn't have color work in it. There's no color work in this sweater. It's very, very easy. You just make it out of one color, a tonal. You can make it out of a sparkle yarn. You can make it out of a speckled yarn. It would be just as pretty. It only has 2 rows of lace around the neck. The neck is also a little bit wide, so it's more of a summer sweater, but you can just crochet fewer chains around the neck and start up a little bit higher if you want to make it for fall or winter. So there are just lots of things you can do with this particular pattern. I really like it. Again, this is the Rebecca sweater, and love this yarn. I love luxury yarns. I know they're expensive, but think about that. I only used 750 yards of this Knit Picks, which was, well, let me turn it this way. This was hand dyed by a friend. So you could probably buy some Malabrigo yarn if you wanted to, or something like that, to make it out of a luxury yarn, or you could just go to Hobby Lobby and find something really soft to make it from. So again, this is the Rebecca sweater, and I'll have the pattern out fairly soon so you can make a summer sweater the way you want it to look. For those of you who follow me on my diamond painting, here's a little piece of what I did this weekend. A very quick look at my Two Sisters on the Terrace, and this is a painting that I'm doing in between a couple of other larger paintings, and this is a 16 by 20. So I want to show you the detail on this. I have finished her little dress. I went ahead and did that. I have started on the flowers over here, and I haven't done a whole lot there, but I have finished her little dress, and I thought that was so beautiful. I wanted to show it to you. Okay, now let's talk about giveaways. There's giveaways this week. Giveaway for next Monday will be the Dottie yarn, and I bought an extra skein of this that I didn't need. This has 656 yards on it. It's a size 3 yarn. So I used an H hook with this, and it turned out so nice. This is the Garden Party colorway, and it's a full skein. I haven't used anything on it, and this will be going to a lucky winner next Monday. So use the word Dottie in your comment, D-O-T-T-I-E, use the word Dottie, and that will get you in the running for this particular ball of yarn. And you can make a Dorothy sweater out of this if you make it small and make it cropped, or you can order another skein, and for $8.99, if you win this yarn, you can make a brand new sweater. So, and there's a whole skein of Garden Party I'm giving away next week. Use the word Dottie in your comment. Now, I'm also giving away a new crochet magazine, and this crochet magazine is for autumn of 2022. Okay, they're getting ahead of themselves. This is only June, and it's 2 months away. But, you know, there's some really pretty patterns in here. Look at this striped sweater. Now, that's a loud sweater in my book. That's a loud sweater, but it's beautiful. And if you're excited about crochet and you want to make it just like that, I think that would be great. That's a beautiful, beautiful sweater. I love it, and there are lots of pretty other pretty patterns in here. There is a slouchy cardigan. It's not like mine, but this is their slouchy cardigan right here. It is a huge cardigan. It has a lot of yarn in it. It has a lot of yarn. I looked at this, and it says that you need worsted weight yarn, and you need for an extra small, you need 10 balls of 200 yards. That's 2,000 yards of that, and that's worsted weight. So that is a big cardigan right there. It's long. The sleeves are very, very wide. But if you're into this kind of a cardigan, this would be a perfect cardigan for you. And it also comes in sizes, which I don't do, but it comes in sizes up to 2X. So this is a textured cowl right here that is quite beautiful. It's made from either bulky or super bulky yarn. chunky bulky, chunky weight yarn, and I don't know how many skeins you need, but I want only 1 or 2 skeins of that. Really pretty. It has some baubles on it. It has all kinds of fun things on there, and that's pretty. And then there's another shawl right here that's very simple to make. It's made, I believe, in triads, but I'm not sure. That would be sized up to 5X. So this will fit pretty much anyone. There's some handmade things in here for fall, one of which is a basket embellisher, which is just a decoration that you put around the top of a basket that you might buy at Pier 1 or one of those places online. I think it's pretty. There are several things in here that are really pretty, and I wanted to put this out. Here's the fall sampler sweater, they call it. This is the fall sampler sweater, and it's up to a size 3X, and it does have stitch counts and everything in it. But I wanted to show that to you because it is a beautiful sweater. It's made with all different colors, and I think they give you all the colors in here that you need. It's a Premier Yarns anti-pilling everyday DK light, so it's made with DK yarn. So there you go. There you have it. This is the Crochet Magazine. This will go out next week to someone who is subscribed to my channel. And the keyword here is stripes, and that says it right there, stripes, S-T-R-I-P-E-S. Stripes is the keyword for this crochet magazine. Now, for those of you who love cross stitch, this one is also available for next Monday. It's for someone to win. This is called Seize the Day. Well, it's called just cross stitch, but it's also the most recent one, which is August of 2022. So August of 2022, Cross Stitch Magazine. If I can ever get used to this camera, I don't know. So there you go. That's a beautiful, beautiful cross stitch on there. And let me show you the project page so you can see what's in here. These are some really pretty designs. They're really summery though. This is a very summery. Let me get over here. That's a real summery picture that was on the front. I love the sailboat. I think that's beautiful. Here's a kind of a whimsical summer project right there for cross stitch. And there's some others on here as well. Some are very whimsical. Some are pretty. You know, they're different. So let me scroll over here, show you those. There's the bottom ones down there. So there you have it. They're starting to do Christmas ornaments, which is something you have to start early. You can't just start at the very end of the year and expect to make very many, because I tried that last year and I did baubles, but I only did a few and I gave away some, so I only had 1 or 2 for my tree. But I really like them. I think the baubles are beautiful, and I'll probably talk about those later in the year. But right now, this Cross Stitch Magazine is available for a winner next week, and you use the word cross. Again, let me get over here. Use the word cross if you're interested in the Cross Stitch Magazine. And if you have a friend that does cross stitch, you can give it to them. Or if you have a family member, or if you just want to try it, or just want to look through it and see if it might interest you, you could certainly do that. So the Cross Stitch Magazine for August of 2022 is available for next week. All these gifts are available for y'all next week. I'm sorry I didn't have one for today. I just totally forgot about it. I think I had a lot on my mind last Monday, and I was trying to hurry up and get that video out. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Please be sure to go down in the description box and sign up to be in the community. The community is a place where you will get free patterns. You will get a free pattern when you sign up. It's free to join, and every time I release a pattern, I send out a special offer code for those in the community so that you can receive a discount on any pattern you want in the Etsy shop. And also down in the description box, if you'll sign up for the community, you will receive, besides receiving a free pattern, you will receive an offer code to use any time of the year that you want. If you see a pattern you really like, you have an offer code there to use. And also you have an offer code to use on my project bags. And my project bags are very, very sturdy. They're wonderful. They're waterproof. And you can find those on my Etsy shop, and I'll put a link down in the description box to those. It's also on the email. There's a picture of myself and a project bag, and you can just click on that picture and it takes you to the Etsy shop, so you can go out there and shop. Well, I think I have 4 colors now. I have several colors now, including a light pink, a purple. I think I have 1 left of that. I'm not sure. I think I have 1 left in the lilac color, and several in the pink, and some stone wash, which are the kind of a beigey white color. They're very beautiful, and they have a zipper at the top. So you might go out there and take a look at the description on the Etsy shop. It tells you all about every aspect of every project bag, so you'll know exactly what you're getting if you decide to order one. I plan to send out a video this week about the reveal for my nativity diamond painting project. I finished it, and I want to send out a special video that talks about everything about the particular painting. And it's not available on Diamond Art Club anymore. That's where I received it. It was sponsored to me by Diamond Art Club, and I received it from them, but they don't have any more of those. But they do have some beautiful paintings out there. And some of my subscribers have said they went out there and bought some of the diamond paintings. So that's a wonderful thing. I don't make any money off that, but I just wanted to introduce that company because they have such wonderful diamond paintings. They're always top quality. The canvases are very beautiful and soft. They're very nice, and they're very sticky, so you don't have to struggle with trying to keep your drills on the canvas. And I just really like the company. They've been wonderful to me. They have a great customer service department, and also a guarantee that if you spill your drills, they will replace them for you. And I mean, how much better could it get than that? So I have had some spillage in my time, but I always manage to pick them all up off the floor because I have a hardwood floor. I don't have a carpet. If I did, I would never find them in the carpet. But I hope you have a wonderful week. And look for my video about the nativity coming out the next day or two. Also, the Dorothy Sweater is out there now. You have an email in your inbox if you're in the community. And if you're not, you just go directly to the Etsy shop and take a look at that. The Dorothy Sweater is available now. So have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you next Monday. And join me then to find out what's on the hook.